Ever seen a pair of cleats that cost more than your car? Or how about cleats made out of tape that somehow stole the show? Yeah, this story has both. Let's start with the cheapest cleats ever spotted on a football field. And when I say cheap, I mean $1. That's all it took for Dookie and Nacho to turn heads. They didn't just throw on some random shoes. They wrapped their cleats in tape to mimic brands like Converse, Off-White, and even Gucci flip-flops. It was hilarious, it was creative, and somehow, it worked. They weren't trying to be flashy. They were clowning the system, and the internet loved it. But from budget laughs to bold designs, here's where it gets colorful. Jamar Chase, known for burning defenders, did something wild. He showed up in 160 Fruity Pebble cleats, inspired by LeBron's shoes, and even came with a custom cereal box. Yep, actual box art like it was straight from your breakfast table. The best part? He didn't just wear them to flex, he scored in them too. Josh Jacobs wasn't playing around either. He laced up in $290 Ghostbusters-themed cleats, complete with glowing green slime effects, classic logos, and futuristic weapon vibes. These things looked like a mashup between Halloween and a sci-fi movie premiere, and somehow they still looked game-ready. But let's crank it up a notch. Cam Newton, already known for his wild fashion sense, once auctioned off a golden pair of Under Armour cleats, valued at $500. These weren't just cleats. They were a tribute to his MVP season. Stats are printed right on them, worn right before Super Bowl 50. And yeah, they were signed. Cam's style? Loud. His cleats? Louder. But hold up, this is just the warm-up. Because coming up next, cleats with real diamonds, fines bigger than your paycheck, and one pair that costs more than a Lamborghini. Just when you thought cleats couldn't carry emotion, CeeDee Lamb changed that. He stepped onto the field wearing more than just a custom pair. He wore a tribute. These weren't just any cleats. They were a 1,000-plus customized version of Kobe Bryant's Midnight Navy Sixes. Not just a fashion statement, they were a heartfelt nod to a legend. Every route, every cut, every touchdown, Lamb carried a piece of Mamba mentality with him. That's how you honor greatness without saying a word. But let's move from tribute to controversy. Davante Adams made history in headlines when he laced up in 2000 Dior Jordan 1 cleats, making him the first NFL player to bring Dior to the gridiron. They were sleek, bold, and luxury-packed, but timing? Questionable. He rocked them in a playoff game, and then lost. Social media didn't hold back. You wore Dior to lose? Yeah, that comment section was brutal. Still, you have to respect the confidence. Not everyone has the guts to wear what looks like a museum piece in the middle of a full-contact sport. But what if cleats could shine under stadium lights? Deebo Samuel had that covered. His diamond dunk cleats were a sparkling flex, over $2,500 worth of crystals embedded into a Nike Dunk silhouette, customized into cleats. It wasn't just glitter, it was icy. He wore them during games. Think about that. Playing one of the most physical sports on earth with shoes that belong on a red carpet. That's next-level swagger. And here's the wild part. None of these are even the most expensive ones yet. Because up next, we're talking about cleats so outrageous they've been banned and fined, and one pair that'll make you question reality, because they're worth more than. Now let's talk about cleats that are so bold. They broke the rules, literally. Alvin Kamara turned Christmas Day into his highlight reel. Not just because he dropped 6 touchdowns on the Vikings, but because he did it wearing multicolored Christmas-themed cleats. Red on one foot, green on the other. Festive, flashy, and very much against NFL uniform policy. The league wasn't feeling the holiday spirit, though. They hit him with a $5,000 fine. But considering he had one of the greatest single-game performances in NFL history, it was worth it. Then there was Deshaun Jackson, who used his cleats to make a statement. His custom pair featured a white and blue caution tape design, symbolizing police awareness and social justice. The message was clear, but so was the league's response, a $6,000 fine. Still, Jackson stood by his stance, proving that sometimes cleats can speak louder than interviews. And of course, Marshawn Lynch, aka Beast Mode, had to do it his way. His cleats were unapologetically Skittles-themed, a candy he was famously obsessed with, bright, bold, and unmistakably off-brand. The NFL wasn't having it and slapped him with a $10,000 fine for unauthorized branding. But come on, who else could turn candy into a fashion statement on turf? Now buckle up, because we're shifting from fines to full-on financial madness. Ray McCloud pulled up to the Super Bowl in 23,000 Louis Vuitton-inspired cleats. Gold, designer-patterned, and high-key outrageous. You'd think he was walking a Paris runway instead of lining up for kickoff. But hey, if you're going to play on the biggest stage, you might as well look like it. Then there's Patrick Surtain II, who tapped into every millennial's nostalgia. His cleats were styled like a PlayStation 2, complete with console logos. $30,000 plus worth of gaming nostalgia wrapped around his ankles. One word, iconic. But Christian McCaffrey brought the heart. His Logan Project cleats weren't just gaming-themed, they were a tribute to a young fan who passed away. They sold at auction for $33,000 with all proceeds donated. Proof that sometimes cleats go beyond the game. And just when you think that's where the story ends, there's one more pair that breaks every rule. Because next, we're stepping into the world of a $250,000 cleat, custom-built, never worn, and almost unbelievable. Stay tuned. If you thought $40,000 cleats were wild, get ready, because now we're entering the realm of record-breaking madness, where the cleats aren't just flashy, they're practically priceless. Let's start with Tom Brady's 2006 playoff cleats. These aren't just shoes, they're a literal piece of football history. Worn during one of Brady's most legendary postseason comebacks, these Nike Zoom cleats are the only playoff pair ever signed by the GOAT himself. And collectors knew exactly what they were holding, because these cleats sold for a jaw-dropping $888,000 at auction. Yeah, nearly $1 million for cleats. But when it's Tom Brady, anything's possible. Then there's Andrew Sendejo, who took clear customization into the crypto age. His pair featured none other than his Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT printed right on the side. At the time before the NFT market crash, these were valued at around $165,000. Talk about flexing your portfolio and your cleats on the field. Unfortunately, the market didn't hold, but the audacity? That's eternal. And finally, the crown jewel. The world's most expensive football cleats ever worn on a field. Odell Beckham Jr.'s Diamond Super Bowl cleats. Before the kickoff of Super Bowl 56, OBJ warmed up in cleats that weren't just designer. They were practically royal. Crafted from python skin, laced with over 1,500 diamonds, and custom designed by the shoe surgeon, these cleats came in at a mind-blowing $250,000. They weren't worn during the actual game, just the warm-up. But they stole the show anyway. OBJ wasn't just there to play, he came to make history. But which pair would you rock if you had the chance? Would you go full beast mode with Skittles, or diamond out like OBJ? Drop your pick in the comments, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're feeling that clear heat.